This is my grandmother's great grandfather, Captain Theodore Blakely, who fought for the 58th Pennsylvania for the North for the Civil War. He was an immigrant from England. He came over here when he was 10 to 12 years old, kind of in that range, to the United States in Pennsylvania. We are here to visit Fort Harrison, which is where Captain Blakely was shot and killed in the Civil War in September of 1864. He left behind his wife, widowed, with 3 young children. He did have several siblings also that lived in the area. I'm standing at a little bit of a family treasure at Fort Harrison. Here's the sign right there. Fort Harrison is a Civil War battlefield just outside of Richmond, Virginia. This is where my grandmother's great-grandfather, Theodore Blakely, was shot and killed fighting for the 58th Pennsylvania for the North. And the fort is basically just these mounds of dirt. There are very fortified berms of dirt that protected the Southern militia or Southern Army. The guide said that the dirt actually was better enforcement against artillery than brick buildings. So this is what they used. This is the tallest berm, or kind of like a dirt pile that still remains, and it was used to prevent artillery fire from kind of down by the James River, far down this way. That sign says Confederate Earthworks, and when the Confederate was fighting, they were protecting from this way, shooting towards the Union this way, but then when the Union took over, they were trying to fight it from this way. So this berm is another area that Union built up as protection. This is a photo that talks a little bit about the battle that my grandmother's great-grandfather was in, and it was a surprise attack that was started early in the morning, and the painting of it.
Grasping his revolver by the muzzle as a sort of war club, and he said, waving his pistol, "Now, men, just 2 minutes to take that fort. Just 2 minutes, men." We sprang to our feet, dressed our line in an instant. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Forward rang out from the officers, and away we went. Company B sprang out before his men, sword in hand, but saw him no more, for I turned my eyes to the front, and he was killed before reaching the ditch. There's your Blakely.
So here we are at Fort Harrison, down where in the Civil War times this area did not have trees. It was cleared open down a ravine here. And this is where the 58th Pennsylvania charged up. They charged uphill. And then there is the berm that is the very front of Fort Harrison. And it's estimated potentially about right where I'm standing, anywhere along this line, Captain Theodore Blakely was shot and killed right here. Troops, they lined up and they charged up the hill, about 100 men across, 2 layers of men, and Captain Blakely, they said, according to records, picked up a sword and charged his men forward. And somewhere between down there to about where I'm standing, this is the front of the fort, the berm of the fort. Captain Blakely was shot and was mortally wounded and killed September 29th, 1864.